My friends, as you sit there listening to the sound of my voice, I want you to look around the room. Look at the furniture, the walls, the very device in your hand. Before any of these things existed in the physical world, they existed in a place much more powerful and much more real. They were thoughts. They were tiny flickers of electricity in the dark, silent attic of a human mind. I have spent more than 25 years of my life at the request of Andrew Carnegie, the master of steel, to discover a singular law. A law that separates the men who build empires from the men who merely sweep the floors of those empires. I have interviewed over 500 of the greatest minds: Ford, Edison, Rockefeller, and I found one haunting truth. Most people are living in a prison that has no bars. They are trapped by a mental thermostat set by their ancestors, their failures, and their fears. Tonight, we are going to break that thermostat. We are going to stop being victims of a reality that you yourself have projected. If you are ready to stop drifting and start sailing, then listen closely, for the door is opening. The philosophy of thought, the starting point of all achievement, is the realization that thoughts are things. This is not a metaphor, my friend. It is a literal scientific fact. Your brain is both a broadcasting station and a receiving station for the vibrations of thought. Oh, when you wake up in the morning and your first impulse is to check the news, to look at your bank account with dread, or to compare your life to the staged success of another, you are placing a formal order with the universe for more of that same misery. You must understand the law of magnetic attraction. You do not attract what you want. A beggar wants money, but he remains a beggar. You attract who you are. Who you are. If your internal vibration is tuned to scarcity, you can work 18 hours a day and you will still find yourself broke at the end of the month. Success is an inside-out process. To change the harvest, you must change the seed. Ew. And the seed is the thought you hold most dominant in your mind when no one is watching. Set the burning desire. Many people come to me and say, "Mr. Hill, I want to be rich." I tell them that is their first mistake. A want is a weak, sickly thing. It has no more power than a candle in a hurricane. What you must have is a burning desire. It must be a spiritual fire that consumes every other thought. When Henry Ford decided to build the V8 engine, his engineers told him it was impossible. They said it couldn't be done. Ford didn't argue. He simply told them to keep working. He had a burning desire that was so hot, it melted the word impossible right out of his vocabulary. Do you have that fire, or are you merely wishing? A wish is a hope that things might get better. A burning desire is a certainty that they will be better, backed by a plan that allows for no retreat. You must reach the point where you burn the ships behind you. If you leave yourself a plan B, you have already guaranteed the failure of plan A. The subconscious partner. Deep within you lies a sleeping giant. It is your subconscious mind. This is the silent partner that never sleeps. It does not reason. It does not argue. And it does not have a sense of humor. It accepts every command you give it with absolute obedience. Absolute obedience. If you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough for that promotion," your subconscious says, "Very well. I shall make sure you stay exactly where you are." To master the American market, to master your own destiny, you must learn the art of auto-suggestion. This is the process of deliberately feeding your subconscious a new blueprint. You must speak to it with emotion. Cold words have no effect. You must feel the weight of the gold in your hands. You must smell the leather of the new car. Oh, but smell the leather of the new car. You must hear the applause of the crowd before you even step onto the stage. This is how you reprogram the machine. You are the architect, and your thoughts are the bricks. The closing of part 1. As we conclude this first step of our journey, I want you to understand that the path ahead is not for the faint of heart. The comfortable trap is waiting for you. It will tell you to stop, to go back to sleep, to be realistic. But realism is the road to mediocrity. I want you to take a piece of paper right now. Write down exactly how much money you intend to acquire. Write down the exact date you intend to have it. And most importantly, write down what service you intend to give in exchange for this wealth. For there is no such thing as something for nothing. For nothing. My friends, let us step deeper into the laboratory of the human mind. Now that we have established the foundation of purpose, we must confront the most powerful force in the human experience, the power of identity. The psychological blueprint. In my years of research, I have observed a curious phenomenon. And men of great intellect fail miserably, while men of average ability build fortunes that defy imagination. Why is this? The answer lies in the invisible blueprint that every man carries within his soul. Think of your life as a grand skyscraper. Before a single brick was laid, an architect drew a blueprint. If that blueprint called for a 2-story cottage, no amount of steel or labor could ever turn it into a 100-story tower. Your subconscious mind is that architect. If you hold a poverty identity, if you see yourself as a victim of the economy or as someone who is just getting by, your mind will sabotage every opportunity that comes your way to ensure you remain consistent with that blueprint. So, with that blueprint, you cannot consistently perform in a manner that is inconsistent with how you see yourself. The law of assumption to change your bank account. You must first change your I am. In the United States, we are taught to work hard to get what we want. To get what we want. But I tell you, you do not get what you want. You get who you are. If you want to be a leader of industry, you must start making decisions like a leader today. You must walk with the carriage of a man who has $1 million in the bank, even if your pockets are currently empty. This is not pretending. This is the application of the law of assumption. By assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you signal to your silent partner, the subconscious, that the new identity is a fact. The subconscious does not reason. It only accepts. When it accepts the identity of a successful man, it begins to attract the people, the ideas, and the circumstances necessary to make that identity a physical reality. It is a psychological law as certain as the law of gravity. The death of the old self. Most people fail because they try to put new wine into old bottles. They want the new life, but they cling to the old self. They hold on to the old grudges, the old excuses, and the old realistic way of thinking. My friend, The person you are today is the very person who created your current circumstances. To move to the next level, the current version of you must die. You must be willing to let go of the comfortable trap of your past. Of your past? Your past is a ghost. It has no power over you except the power you give it by dwelling upon it. In the great American factories, we do not hesitate to scrap an old machine when a more efficient one is invented. You must do the same with your personality. If a habit, a thought, or an association no longer serves your definite chief aim, you must scrap it without mercy. The mirror exercise. I want to give you a practical tool, a method used by many of the titans I have interviewed. Every morning, stand before a mirror. Look yourself in the eye and state your new identity with absolute conviction. Do not say, I will be rich. Say, I am a magnet for wealth and opportunity. Use the present tense when you say, I am. You are using the two most powerful words in the human language. Whatever follows I am will eventually find you. If you say, I am tired, you will find exhaustion. If you say, I am a master of my destiny, you will find the strength to move mountains. Instead is how you reprogram the master key. You are not asking for permission. You are issuing a command to the universe. The magnetism of certainty. Why did men like Charles M. Schwab or Andrew Carnegie command such respect? It was their aura of certainty. They didn't hope things would work out. They knew they would. This certainty is the outward expression of a solid identity. When you know who you are, you no longer seek the approval of the crowd. You no longer fear the comparison trap. In the high-stakes world of New York and Chicago, I saw that the man with the strongest identity always wins the negotiation. The world has a habit of making room for the man whose actions show that he knows where he is going. If you are hesitant, the world will push you aside. The world will push you aside. But if you walk with the identity of a master, the world will step out of your way and hand you the keys to the city.